Let's be honest, it's the question on every parent's mind right now. What does my child's future look like in a world with AI? It can feel, well, a little overwhelming. But what if the goal isn't to compete with machines, but to double down on what makes us uniquely human? In this explainer, we're going to unpack that together.
So this is the big question, isn't it? What skills are actually going to matter when your teenager steps out into the world? What skills will make them truly irreplaceable? We're going to break it down and give you a clear, confident way to think about the road ahead.
It's so easy to see this as a big showdown, human versus machine, but that's really the wrong way to look at it. It's all about partnership. I mean, AI is absolutely incredible at crunching data and spotting patterns on a massive scale. But our strengths, our creativity, our sense of right and wrong, our empathy, they exist in a realm that pure data just can't touch.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to walk through the 3 key areas where we have a unique human advantage. First, how we think and create. Then, how we act and adapt in the physical world. And finally, how we feel and make decisions. So let's get started with a quick overview.
So what is it that really makes us unique? Well, it's not just one thing. It's this incredible combination of abilities that come from our minds, our bodies, and, you could say, our hearts.
You see, our real advantage isn't found in just one of these slices. It's in how they all work together. The way we think and act and feel, all at once. That's what makes us so adaptable and, well, so human. So let's dive into that first piece, thinking and creating. All right, first up, thinking and creating. This is where we go way beyond just spitting out information. This is about using our minds to come up with brand new ideas and make those tricky, nuanced judgments that no machine can.
You know, creativity isn't just about painting a masterpiece. It's really about divergent thinking, the ability to look at one problem and come up with 10 different original solutions. And it's fueled by our messy, beautiful life experiences and emotions. An AI can remix data that already exists, but it can't have a breakthrough idea in the shower.
And you can see how these skills play out in really valuable careers. An entrepreneur needs that spark of creativity to invent something new. A strategist has to be flexible, ready to pivot when things change. And a journalist needs sharp, critical judgment to weigh all the facts of a complex story. These are all built on a foundation of uniquely human thinking.
So how can you spot this in your own teen? Well, you can actually see it in action. Do they listen to different sides of a story? Do they try to weigh the pros and cons before jumping to a conclusion? When you see that happening, that's judgment. That's a skill worth encouraging.
Okay, next up, let's talk about the physical world. We kind of forget about our bodies in this digital age, don't we? But our ability to move, to adapt, and to interact with a messy, unpredictable world, that's a huge advantage over any computer.
This quote just nails it. A robot is fantastic on a predictable assembly line, but the real world, it's chaotic. It's unpredictable. We are literally built to improvise, constantly taking in information and adjusting what we're doing on the fly. The secret weapon behind all this is something called proprioception. You can just think of it as your body's own internal GPS. It's that unconscious sense of where all your body parts are in space. It's what allows a surgeon, a dancer, or an athlete to perform these incredibly complex movements with a grace that, for now, is way beyond any robot.
And this physical intelligence is just irreplaceable in so many areas. Think about the delicate touch of a surgeon, the intuitive feel of a carpenter shaping wood, or the nuanced fingerwork of a musician. These all rely on a level of human dexterity and field that's absolutely essential.
And that brings us to our final and maybe our most powerful area. We've talked about the mind and the body, but now let's talk about the heart. Our ability to feel, to connect with other people, and to make moral judgments is our most profound advantage.
At the core of this is emotional intelligence. It's that ability to read a room, to understand what someone isn't saying, to build genuine trust. See, an AI can be programmed with the rules of social interaction, but it can never be programmed to actually feel empathy.
This slide really shows the 2 different worlds of decision-making. An AI follows logic and algorithms based on the data it's been given. But we humans, we get to use intuition, that gut feeling that draws on a whole lifetime of experiences, mistakes, and emotions. It lets us make these creative leaps that pure logic just can't.
Think about it with this classic example: the self-driving car in a no-win situation. The car can only follow its programming, its code. A human, though, has the ability to grapple with the ethical weight of that decision, to consider things like fairness and compassion. You just can't program that.
So it's really no surprise that the jobs that are most secure are the ones built on human connection. For therapists, teachers, doctors, and great leaders, empathy isn't just some nice, soft skill. It is the absolute core of the work they do every single day.
So when you put it all together, it leads to a much more optimistic and empowering view of the future. The real question isn't about us versus them, it's about collaboration. The goal is to teach our kids how to combine their irreplaceable human gifts with the incredible power of these new AI tools.
So as you go about your week, just start to notice these uniquely human skills: creativity, judgment, physical grace, and empathy. And I'll leave you with this to think about. Which of these powerful strengths are you already seeing and maybe even nurturing in your child today? Thanks for joining me.